This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. And this is your best and most authoritative sports program on radio, The Stadium. My name is Ted, as usual. I'm here with the one and only How has the day been?
Fantastic, Ted. It's been a fantastic day.
You're waiting in anticipation of what will happen to you on Monday and on Tuesday.
No, well, actually, I'm actually waiting for anticipation for Saturday. Pyeongchang is just around the corner. I want to see. I'm very interested to see what the opening ceremony is going to look like, especially with the two Koreas coming together. I'm actually just brimming with excitement with that.
But athletes from the People's Republic of Korea, that's North Korea, said they won't be competing against U.S. athletes if they are tied together at this sport.
No, but
I wonder how that.
I wonder how that's going.
Yes.
That's part of the excitement. I want to know how that's going to play out. Imagine a situation where maybe the figure skating team,
Yes.
the main team that's going to compete, they have a figure skating team, they have a hockey team, but I think it's mostly the figure skating team. Imagine if they meet up with the U.S. in the finals.
And then you decline to
are
play
you going
in
to
the
decline?
finals?
Exactly. Are you going to decline because of the U.S.? I mean, it's just going to be an interesting geopolitical dynamic to actually watch and see.
This will actually be one of the most interesting Olympics because a lot of things are happening. That's to give you a teaser into what we're talking about this evening. We have news in Formula One, adjustments to the cars in 2018, the players pairing, and the races as they will take place this season, this year. Of course, it's starting in March. It's around the corner as well. But we will give you details of that adjustment in the car. And we'll check out, you who love Formula One, you go online and look at the car. Whether it's the same car you actually love to watch Formula One or you actually divert to another game because there has been some kind of adjustment on the car. Manchester United reportedly talking about lost a lot, £29 million in 2017. What happened? They took all the money to buy Sanchez and now they're complaining. And of course, still talking Pyeongchang, some athletes are getting injured and they will not be able to compete. Just less than 2 full days to the start of that. It's so heart-wrenching to hear that. Of course, there's story in boxing. And then Roger Federer wants to get back to start this year after winning Australia. Wants to start the ATP rankings as number one. We'll talk about that in the course of the program. But first, Buchi, let's talk about Formula One.
Yes.
The season starts in March. The first one will be the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne on March 25th. We have Bahrain, we have Chinese, we have Azerbaijan, Spanish GP, Monaco GP, Canadian GP, all lined up before June 10, between March and June 10. This is a very tight calendar.
Yes, it is.
But then there have been adjustments to the car in order to ensure driver's safety. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, the Formula One cars, of course, they're world famously known for being open-ended. That's an open on top. That's an open, just the driver's head, like a little ball in the middle of it. But of course, there's always been concern for driver safety, and of course,
due to
right now,
accidents,
terrible life-altering accidents that have been recorded, and Liberty Media, who are the official, who have taken over the official sponsorship and running of Formula One, have actually come up with this. The FIA, which is the Formula One association, has come up with this roll cage. Now, a roll cage is something that's installed inside cars. It's sort of like safety bars inside the car to protect the driver. Now, they have this roll cage that's called a halo. It looks like it's a giant piece, sort of like a piece of metal that kind of covers the front. It's just like, it looks like a frame in the front and also at the top where it
makes the driver
air
almost invisible.
Of course, where the air intake also goes into, there's a bit of it too, just above the car. I think that's also when the car turns, it's kind of like, it acts like a shield, a skeleton towards protecting the driver from his head or whatever hitting the floor or hitting the ground. Now, it's lightweight material that's been made of, but it's something so strong and so dense, it's actually strong enough to withstand the weight of a London double-decker bus.
That's amazing.
A double-decker bus is about 8 tons.
That's amazing. So all that weight is going to be on the vehicle.
Well, no, not actually. I mean, that's the thing. The halo itself.
Yes.
is actually lightweight. It doesn't really add any sort of weight because some teams were complaining whether the weight will add to drag. But then also with the weight on the car, it adds to friction to the tires towards better gripping and probably helping the car, go faster, because sometimes you also have that issue where, because of the speed of the engine, the tires can't compensate and they they kind of burn out.
Which is one of the reasons they considered in most of the last races last year, the special tires were used.
Special lightweight tires, exactly.
And their modifications are supposed to take effect from 2021. Now
Yes.
here's the halo being installed on it again. I don't know why they didn't consider this as part of, but I guess Liberty Media had it in mind. That's one of the things that taking away from Eccleston era, they want to.
Funny enough, the FIA have been thinking of trying to come up with safety measures and safer ways for these cars and drivers. In fact, they even considered sort of like a see-through shield that just goes over the top covering the driver, but that has some logistical stuff. And right now, the Halo right now is the only FIA approved safety equipment that can be installed on a car. Now, of course, fans have been coming out to kick against it. It kind of gives the car a different sort of shape. It kind of covers the driver, which takes away from the beauty of F1. But of course, the Drivers Association actually are praising the idea and praising it a lot. I think many of the top drivers have actually tested the Halo and approve the use of the Halo for Formula One. So I think it's actually a good development. It's a good development. It's a good step in the right direction.
I think that will give a lot of a lot of confidence to the drivers now, and we'll see less accidents. It doesn't guarantee that there'll be no collisions on.
Of course
on the
not.
There will
No.
be, but we're not going to see a situation where drivers get flung out of the vehicle, or when there's a
where the
collision
car
that
flips over and you're crushed.
Yes,
Exactly.
with your head down and all that. We'll see less of that. Other sports to consider it and maybe use some other things. We're talking about protection of athletes.
NASCAR have it. Most cars, it's just because the Formula One vehicle is just iconic for the fact that it doesn't have like a roof. It's just the driver's head. That's the iconic factor of Formula One. But all other most race, in fact, I think all other cars that have race cars, if it's the NASCAR, if it's the Indy 500, if it's even go-karting, you have that. They call it a roll cage. Yeah. It's a roll cage. It's installed inside. It's a series of bars that are set around the driver towards protecting the driver. Yes.
All right, the Formula One season starts in March, but of course, the car launching will come up from the 20th of this month to the 26th. Renault will launch theirs on the 20th, the same day with Sauber. On the 22nd, Mercedes, 22nd, Ferrari, 23rd, McLaren, and Toro Rosso will launch theirs on the 26th. So we'll wait to see what they will bring out there. Of course, Hamilton, Vettel, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg, all the drivers are ready for the season. And we hope that they will give us a wonderful, very wonderful season. All right, Buchi, the world of boxing. Your friend who was defeated by AJ, Carlos Takam.
Takam himself.
Your toy neighbor from Cameroon.
Carlos Takam.
He wants a fight. It's supposed to be a fight between Dillian White and Lucas Brown on the 2nd of March at the O2 Arena there. And Carlos Takam is waiting to fight somebody in that category, the winner of that. You are trying to explain to the listener again how Takam got into this category, because I thought along the line he was the least of those that were supposed to be challengers in this category.
No, I mean, Takam's story is sort of like a zero to hero story in the sense that Takam was the step-in. He was the replacement. I mean, AJ's next competitor was supposed to be Joseph Pulev, who was supposed to who pulled out because a freak shoulder injury, and with only 12 days to the big event, because tickets had been sold, things like that, and they were looking for a competitor who would. Nobody was willing to step into the ring. Carlos Takam stepped in, received whatever contract he was giving, boxed against AJ, put up a good showing for himself, but of course was defeated by the more prepared and well-trained AJ. Now, because of that, maybe you call it guilty by association, or just a star, becoming a star by association, because now it's giving him the leverage, it's giving him that prestige, because now he's kind of shot up to that. We're now looking at, well, Takam wasn't prepared. He had 12 days to go against AJ.
And
Wouldn't
he
it be
actually
nice
gave
to
a
see
good
him?
fight,
And he gave a good fight.
yes.
Wouldn't it be nice to see him in another big fight? And now this seems to be his in. Now Dylan White is going up against Lucas Brown.
Yes.
This is
Those are
going
two
down in
heavy punching
two
boxers,
heavy
sorry.
punchers. Exactly. They're not in. It's sort of like that mid-range.
Yes.
They're like that kind of let me say the B class, because let's say AJ Fury, that's the A class of the heavyweight division.
Yes.
Now the B range, the B class of heavyweight division, Takam has kind of just landed in
That's
there.
like SS2B.
Exactly, like SS2B. Exactly. I think probably with a few good fights in him, he'll be able to step into that A grade and then maybe even challenge for his own belt and maybe even win a few belts on his own. But
He's been training very hard in France, and I guess this is his time. All right, Buchi, before we go on a short break, let's quickly talk about Roger Federer.
Yes.
He's supposed to play at the ABN AMRO World Tennis Tournament in Rotterdam. But the implication of this game is that the ATP rankings will change. Federer participates in this competition. He'll come back as number one.
Yes.
Because the point gaps between him and Nadal has now narrowed down. So it's less than 1,000 now. And that's an ATP 1,000 series. So
exactly.
if he does play and
if Days wins 1,000 points, he jumps straight in.
And that fight will be that game will be started. The competition will start on February 12th by noon. We're going to see if we can watch it live and see how Roger comes out, because it looks
has
like
has he agreed to take?
Yeah, he has.
Oh,
He has.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems Nada is not ready yet to come back.
No.
And I don't think he should hurry. Novak has successfully undergone the surgery. It's a pity. He has undergone the surgery to correct the elbow. Murray is recovering from a hip surgery. Stan Wawrinka is recovering from it's an ankle. A lot of them are injured. Are we looking at another door ATP year, or they'll come back in grand style?
Like I said, man, half full. We're looking at the glass as half full and not as half empty. Yes. This is the chance for them, for the young guns, for those next generation young gunners to actually come in and show us and prove to us why they should be considered the top rank, the A rank. This might be even that renaissance period where, the old are fading out and the new are taking in. The new big names in tennis, the new next generation stars are coming in. I think this is that time.
All right, this is the time, and this is also the time where we'll take a short break to enable our Islamic brethren prepare for prayers. Pray for Nigeria, pray for the team in Pyeongchang. They're there to do us proud. As you pray for yourself, do remember to put them in prayers. We'll be right back after this. Do stay with us. Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM redefining broadcasting. The name of the program is The Stadium. My name is Ted and I'm here with Buchi. Before we went on a break, we were talking about the games and the potential return to top spot in tennis by Roger Federer. But then, of course, on a sad note, very made hopeful for the Great Britain team at the ongoing, about to start Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, has suffered a major setback. Katie Omerod has been ruled out of the Olympics. And Buchi, you were hoping that she'll get a medal. She's just 20 years old.
20 years old. She's a prodigy in her own right. I mean, this is a girl that was expected to walk away with at least 2 gold medals.
Yes.
She was expected to walk away with 2 gold medals. She's a prodigy snowboarder, and funny enough, she had an accident and fractured her wrist. And still decided to train and participate, and then also having this accident and now fracturing her heel bone. And now major fracture. She has to go undergo surgery, and is totally ruled out. I mean, the good thing about, I think, the sunny side of this thing is one, the accident could have been worse. Maybe rule her out, maybe even end her career. 2, she's just 20, so at least the next Olympics she'll be 24. She can heal in time and still participate. It's just unfortunate because I remember a few weeks ago we reported about I think a British speed skater, or was it about? I can't remember. He had a stroke just at 30. Had a stroke at 30 and was ruled out of Pyongyang. I think it's unfortunate, but we wish her the speediest of recoveries. That's the best we can do for her.
Speedy recovery, we wish Katie, because we would all love to see her there in the Pyeongchang deliver in her game. She's an amazing athlete. Of course, like you said, she's young, so it is possible that she can recover in time. And we hope to see her at the next Olympics.
4 years from now.
To win gold. All right, we'll launch you straight into the world of football. Ahead of the games that will be coming up over the weekend, banter of words has already started. Arsene Wenger Buchi has come out to describe English players as the... I think he's even committed to go for Olympics.
Masters of diving.
Masters of diving. And Mauricio Pochettino doesn't like that at all.
He doesn't like it at all. I think it's a low jab towards Harry Kane, yes. And their last encounter with the 2-2. That penalty at the final. He feels. He's saying English players are masters of diving. Of course, probably just to rile up the pot. Pochettino's probably not happy about it. Tottenham will probably want to come in there with something to prove and not, So I think it's just friendly competition between these two. But Arsene Wenger, this is a man who's not afraid to speak his mind. This is a man that is always challenging referees and stating his business.
And he has come out also to say that they will be more at home at Wembley than Tottenham, who have adopted Wembley now as their home.
As their home base, yeah. Exactly.
They'll be at home more at Wembley than Tottenham, because they are used to winning FA Cups there.
That's true.
So Wenger has considered Wembley as home.
As his home exactly.
In another development, Manchester United star Ander Herrera is being investigated by Spanish authorities for match fixing when he played in 2011 back then in Spain. He has come out to deny it. Spanish judges are investigating again between Herrera's former team, Real Zaragoza, and Levante in May 2011. So in a statement, Herrera came out to say, as I stated back in 2014 when this issue was raised, I have never had and will never have anything to do with manipulating match results. If I am ever called to testify in a judicial hearing, I will be delighted to attend, as my conscience is totally clear. I love football and I believe in fair play both on and off the pitch. Deportivo La Corona were actually relegated after Real Zaragoza beat Levante 2-1. So it was for Deportivo to go down if Real defeated Levante. So the whole thing is a twist of, I think, me defeating you in order to hurt.
Exactly. If I defeat you, and probably some kind of betting, some fixing. Okay, I'm gonna bet against you. You defeat it, and then in the end, we're all gonna make some kind of money off it, and that kind of match fixing thing. Let's work against to bring Deportivo down so that both of us can kind of scale through. I think, to be honest, yes, it's an accusation, but it's going to be hard, especially an individual player, sectioning out a player in that kind of regard. Yes, I agree with you in that.
They are trying to investigate. For them to say that the law and accuse him, it means there's something there. So what's happening to Manchester United players? Herrera here about match fixing. Sanchez, 16 months imprisonment, potential imprisonment for
suspended. I mean, it's a suspended sentence. I mean, he'll pay the fine. He's going to pay the 900,000 in back taxes, and he's also going to pay 500,000. But then, I mean, he's not going to
buy your way out of jail.
Not really. You won't call it buying out the job, because according to the law, if this is something that happened in 2014, I believe.
2012, actually.
2012. This was something that happened in 2012. Now, if he was convicted, if it was found and convicted then within that 2-year plan, because according to Spanish law, the jail time is 2 years. But since and he came out and he admitted that yes, he accepted the crime. So there's part of the plea bargain or the plea deal is that if a significant amount of time has passed, which is more than 2 years, he gets a suspended sentence. Although it's going to be on his permanent record,
he doesn't have to go in.
He doesn't have to go in. But he also must pay the back taxes and also the fine. The fine. I think the back taxes is about 900,000. The fine that they put on him is about 500 and something. But then this is a man who is the highest paid player in England right now. His weekly wage is £350,000. So I think it's just maybe a few months, just maybe a month as a business.
There were rumors of a Nigerian attempting to buy Arsenal.
Yes. No, I mean, think about it now. You have the person you want. Whatever you want to think about the English clubs, any kind of football club right now generates money. And as a private owner, if I own the club, I want this club to make money. So how can I improve my business? I need better players. I need a better pitch. I need to be able to sell tickets. I need to be able to merchandise. These are the things that expand the sport. And these are the things that a multinational or a private investor is looking to own a club to make it better. It's more like we said, a win-win situation on all sides.
All right, tonight in Copa del Rey, Valencia will host Barcelona. That game comes up around 9:30, thereabout our own time. So you go enjoy yourself and watch the game. Don't find trouble. Don't fight. Don't insult anybody. Sports is supposed to unite us and not to separate us. That's what we call it today on the stadium today. It has been wonderful, Buchi, with you.
Fantastic.
Thanks to Mr. K and Desmond and his team for transmitting us live online. And thanks to everybody who is part of the production. Until tomorrow again, by this time, the stadium returns. Stay with us because the posh lady is the next on air and she has okpa. That inside that okpa, there is raw egg and there is more inside the okpa.
Vegetable inside that okpa.
Have you seen that okpa too? Okay. Just stay with us. She'll be right here after this program. Till tomorrow. Good night.